Yeah. Now you
So
said something
yeah,
that I find it's extremely interesting. I don't know if that went over a lot of people's heads, but you said, some people define real as doing the same thing for as long as possible. Right.
right.
Now that that's an interesting statement for a lot of different reasons. But coming from you specifically, somebody who came out of the Dungeon family, you know what I mean, where you guys were like whatever somebody thinks of as hip hop, you could say, all right, look at Dungeon Family. That's it. You know what I mean? So I want to take a step back. How did you become a part of the Dungeon Family?
Man, I'm not gonna take up your time with that long story, baby. But I will tell you that it was really, it was fateful. And
Mm-hmm.
pardon me, man, I just talk a certain kind of way, but I try to give things that are really plain and simple, the way that they actually transpired and took place. I try to give
Yeah,
all of that a poetic justice in
yeah,
retrospect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's just such a great story. You know what I mean? Really, but to make it short, um, we all grew up in the neighborhood together. We were aware of each other. We were introduced to organized noise from a couple of different separate entities, and then we
Mm-hmm.
all ended up at the Dungeon family. Excuse me, we all ended up at the Dungeon. Um, it was the family home of Rico Wade, 1/3 of Organized Noise. Organized
Okay.
Noise is the production trio that produced all of the early Goody Mob and Outkast music,
Mm-hmm.
Waterfalls, TLC, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Legends in the game. And
Right.
we ended up over there, and it's like when I walked into the house, it was like a family reunion. It was all dudes who I had already known for years from the neighborhood.
Mm.
And so it was just a gravity, a pull, what I mean, like that kind of just it called us all together.
Yeah.
So it's a really, it's kind of magical, man. It's really amazing. You know what I'm saying? And there's much more detail that come along with that, but I'm trying to just put it short, man. Like, it's really an amazing story of how it happened. But we were so young at the time, we didn't know that we would ultimately go on to be, um, forefathers. We weren't concerned about being
Yeah.
forefathers or pioneers or the first of anything. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We knew we had an opportunity. We knew we had a shot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
Um, and of course, anybody that's representing where they from, they want to do it, to the best of their ability, and they want to do it with the utmost respect. So we were just solely focused on representing Atlanta the right way. You know what I mean? And then also, I always say this because this is basically the way that it's summed up. We just felt like, we were kind of like the underdogs. Atlanta, the West Coast was having their time. East Coast is the mecca of hip hop. You had success with Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be whomever. You know what I mean? But as far as this region, it's like we weren't. I didn't feel like we were getting the respect due. None put in the work and earn that respect. So we really just felt like we was fighting for our civil rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fighting for the
Yeah.
equality of Southern hip hop. I mean, like, that's how we took it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
And we did it. We succeeded too.
yeah, exactly, and that, I bring that up for a couple different reasons, but that's why I originally asked, do legends have an expiration date? Because when you really look at the history of where you actually came from, and then you see the growth, and you're talking about setting examples, you actually see like a black man that comes from the streets, that was around all types of dudes that had whatever stereotypes that you could put around them, and then to see the transition into different things that you've put yourself in position to be a part of. Now it's a beautiful journey to watch. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I bring that up. But I have to ask you, which guys were in your neighborhood? Like, which ones were in your neighborhood?
I go further back with a few of the homies, more so than others. He grew up a street over from me. And then also I go even further. I go the furthest back with him. Timo is about 3 years
Mm-hmm.
older than me, and him and my sister graduated together. They were in each other's
Okay.
graduating class. My sister Cujo, Gibb, and Timo. They all graduated together. Class of '90, Benjamin E. Mays High School,
Right.
Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I go all the way back to elementary school with Dre, with Andre 3000. So we met each other in the third grade. And we were like,
oh wow,
play cousins in the third grade. So yeah, so I got long.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is my real family. Yeah, we you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So
that's crazy. That is
but
crazy.
yeah. So and then it's just like East Point is like 3 streets over from Southwest. So me and Timo from the
Okay.
SWATs, Big Gift is from East Point. So it's like streets over. Then you cross the little line. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now you're in East Point, right there. So we all grew up in really in the same vicinity.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's amazing. I mean, so how much influence did that have on the type of music that you produced and produce now? You know, then and now.
You mean just being from a certain kind of environment?
Yeah, and the guys that you were around, because I mean, you have a guy like Andre 3000, who's extremely eclectic, and then you have like a rapper's rapper and Big Boy and Big Gip and all, you know what I mean? So how much influence did that have on your sound, or the type of music that you went on to produce?
Well, I think the South, we were able to kind of get a good balance of everything that was great about East Coast hip hop, and then the West too, because I remember we loved the native tongues. So like De La Soul, who ultimately ended up becoming really good friends of mine for years now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Brothers, Black Sheep. I just did the song, but see, y'all might be too young to even be able to catch that reference. But we always been fans of hip hop. So I believe that's the best way that you can come in. You come in paying homage. You come in showing respect and appreciation for the opportunity that it's afforded you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think the best way and to become great is to have a great sense of taste and a great sense of accountability and responsibility. You know what I'm saying? To whom much is given, much is required. And the opportunity to put. So it was nothing but just wide open space and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And as far as large collectives, we may be the most. I say this all of the time. And it's all love and respect and acknowledgement to all the other large collectives, like the Wu-Tang, Native Tongue, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the Dungeon family, we've done something that no other crew has ever done. You know what I mean? Like, we're the most crew there's ever been.
Yeah.
Stats. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm talking about you could just say, hey, y'all. You can say, hey, y'all. You can say, Nas Rock is crazy. So you got to understand, any win for one of us, it's a win for all of us. You know what I'm saying? So even if I succeed, even if I go out, I bring that win home to Dungeon family.